internet, my name is Hexa and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a pastel-ish rainbow eye look. I'm using the bPerfect Cosmetics Carnival Palette. I'm so excited that they're doing like a Carnival Palette 2.0. I think it's going to be great. But anyway, today I'm going to be using the old one, the original, and I've done this look before, just the eyes, ages ago, never filmed it, figured it was about time, so let's get started. My Carnival palette has taken a little bit of a beating because I traveled with it and one of my highlighters is like smashed, but I don't really use the highlighters anyway. I'm just going to try to kind of like press it in a little bit so it stays. I don't think it's working. One sec, I'll be back. I gotta try to fix this. Alright, so for this particular look, I'm gonna be starting with the eyes and the brows. So first I'm gonna apply a little bit of foundation around my eye area just to prep the skin around the brows and to have something a little bit tacky for the product to attach to. I am using the Naked Skin Foundation from Urban Decay. I spent like 2 weeks in makeup school, and one of the things they taught us was to always make sure the foundation fills out the skin under your eyebrows because it just helps your brow product to attach a little bit better there. So even though technically you don't really get the feeling that you see the skin around your brows too much, it's good to still apply some foundation over it. Just zoomed you guys in a bit so you can get a better look at what we're doing here. I've just been traveling and all of my favorite makeup products are in the bottom of a makeup bag and it's giving me grief right now. On the plus side, I just found my tweezers, which I thought were missing. That's good. For brows, I'm using the Brow Spectrum palette from Zoeva. And I'm going in with this light taupey shade. This is my first step. I find that using a brow powder, like I used to never use brow powders, but now that I've kind of gotten into it, they're really good for kind of creating a little bit of an outline and just creating the initial shape before you go in with a pomade or something a little bit more permanent. After I have lightly filled in my brows with a brow powder, I'm going in with the Taupe Dipbrow from Anastasia. Am I the only person who hates using a handheld mirror to do my makeup? I feel like I just want both of my hands to be free when I'm doing my makeup, even if I don't use my spare hand. I just would rather not have to hold a mirror. So currently the mirror I use is this one from IKEA. It's a little bit short. I'm thinking of getting a new one that's a little taller so I don't have to hold it. That's one eyebrow done, almost-ish. Probably keep working on it. Says it's done, isn't done. Typical me. I've got a little bit of asymmetry going on with my brows right now. Kind of curved this one down a little bit lower than the other one. I'm gonna go in and fix that with concealer in a sec. Or I'm gonna try. After we're done with the pomade, I'm going in with my clear brow gel from Anastasia. This thing is like on its last leg. I'm gonna need to restock real soon because I cannot live without this stuff. It is so good. I feel like a clear brow gel is super important to have. Or just any kind of brow gel. It's really quick and easy and organizes those brows so fast. Next, to prime the eyes, I'm going in with my Concealer Spectrum palette from Zoeva. Using, which shade am I gonna use? Alright, I'm gonna use this shade in the middle, closest to my skin tone. I was considering using the yellow, but I think this one's better. So I'm skipping a little bit of that concealer onto the back of my hand, and I'm going to use it to prime my eyelids for the eyeshadow and also to correct the shape of the brows to just give them a little bit of a sharper edge on the bottom. Actually also went in a little bit over the top of the brow too, because this is such a creamy, like more of a solid kind of concealer. I like to just apply it with my finger because it allows me to warm it up and melt it down completely so I don't get any kind of lumps of concealer. My head wrap just fell off. Damn it. It's a little bit slippery, which doesn't help it stay on, but it does stop it from kind of like pressing down my hair and making it look super weird once I untie it. So now going in with the Carnival palette. The first shade I'm using is this yellow called Keen, and that is gonna go in the inner third of the crease. This is gonna be a cut crease look, so I'm kind of just blowing it out a bit so that it doesn't get covered up when I cut the crease. I'm just gonna open my window real quick because it's getting super warm in here. I'm probably gonna hear birds or something. The next shade I'm using is Lit, which is this bright orange shade. And that's gonna be the middle of the crease. These shadows blend together so beautifully. I think there's so far only been one shade in this palette that I don't like how it blends, and that's the purple shade, which it's kind of standard for those to be a little tough to formulate. For the outer corner, I'm using the shade Wifey, which is not really a red, it's more of like a raspberry kind of shade, which is why I say that this is more of like a pastel rainbow. These colors aren't exactly true to the rainbow spectrum. They each kind of like lean a little bit this way or that with their tones, so it makes it actually a little bit more interesting and special than a regular rainbow. Our cut crease is only going to extend 2/3 of the way, so we're going to also put Wifey on the lid in the inner corner, or in the outer corner, sorry. Now I'm kind of going back in with the orange as well to slowly raise this color up to the eyebrow. Figure there's no point in just like leaving a tiny gap between the eyeshadow and the eyebrow, so I'm just gonna work them in together. I'm gonna grab a different brush for the yellow. But we do want to kind of diffuse it so that this last color, Wifey, isn't as solid right near the brow as it is everywhere else. I'm using these tapping motions, which I find tends to give it a nice gentle blend, because it's just that edge of the bristles that are touching the very edge of the eyeshadow. So that helps to diffuse it slowly. I really hope the camera's focusing on my face. I was having problems with it the last time I filmed a makeup tutorial, and I don't know if it has recovered from that bout of disobedience yet. So I'm happy with how these colors are looking right now. I might go back in later to fix them up a little bit, maybe, I don't know yet. But now it is time to cut the crease. I'm gonna grab that same concealer that I used earlier and use a brush to cut the crease. The key is just to get it right above where your eye actually creases. For the eyelid, I'm using this shade called Hustle. It is a nice kind of like greenish gold. I find it's a very interesting color and very pretty. If you guys hear like a weird tapping noise coming from outside this room, it is the sound of my dog gnawing on a bone apparently. She's like really getting into it. I'm very excited. Cool, I'm happy with that. Now let's hope for the best on the other side as well. Okay, so our lids are done. The crease is cut. All of this like top part of the eye is finished. So now I'm gonna put foundation on the whole rest of my face. Still trying to figure out a way how to like not let this scarf fall off my head, but it doesn't want to stay put. What am I gonna do? The problem is this scarf is from Lush and it's made out of a recycled like plastic bottle. So it's essentially plastic, which means that it's slippery as heck. I'm looking like more and more flustered every time I have to take this off and put it back on. So now I'm going to apply that same foundation from earlier all over my face. I'm gonna go in under my eyes with that concealer that I used, but I'm gonna try not to use too much. And I'm gonna blend that in with my beauty blender. And I'm kind of just gently tapping that concealer over the edge of this pinky shade Wifey, just to give it a little bit of a sharper edge. Looking super cute, super snatched. I'm having a dilemma here because I don't know what highlighter to use. This doesn't normally happen to me. I'm normally very decided about my highlighter options, but today is not one of those days. I think I'm gonna go in with the Moonchild Glow Kit. Haven't used this one in a while. And I'm using the shade Pink Heart. I like to apply my highlighter before I set my face, just because then it'll stick better. Kind of gently applying a little bit of this into the temples as well. I like this palette extremely much. I just kind of wish it wasn't so glittery because that glitter tends to just get everywhere where you don't want the highlighter to be. But what can you do? I'm using a slightly smaller highlighter brush for the tip of my nose and over here between the brows, Cupid's bow, chin, all that fun stuff. Next I'm using the RCMA translucent powder, and I'm just kind of gonna brush that around my face gently. I want to avoid getting too much of the powder in the immediate under eye area because I want to keep at least a little bit of that concealer still tacky for the lower lash line, to give it a good pigmentation and all that. And also trying to avoid putting the setting powder over the highlighter because it's going to take away from that pop that it's got going on right now. Next, I'm gonna bronze using my Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer from Too Faced. I'm noticing in my recent tutorials that I'm not spending enough time on building up my bronzer, and I'm kind of letting it look a little bit too subtle, more subtle than I'd like. Hope I'm not going to overcompensate and make it like way too harsh this time. I'm considering adding blush to this look, but I haven't decided yet, so I think I'm going to finish up the eyes and then see how everything's looking before I decide whether or not to do the blush. Meantime, bronzer's looking good, I hope. Always a big difference between how it looks to me in the mirror and how it looks on camera. Again, just bronzing up the temples and around the edge of my forehead. Just a little bit. I like to kind of work the bronzer into my hairline a little bit and get a little bit just under my chin, but not too much because I always do that sort of randomly, so try not to use too much because any mistakes will be glaring. Zooming you guys back in so that we can finish off with the eyes. First I'm going to use Mint, this shade, and that is going to go in the inner portion of the lower lash line. Ugh. Got a little bit of it here, so I'm going to have to fix that with concealer. Next I'm going in with Sky, which is this beautiful kind of cyan blue. Kind of just keeping my eyes half closed as I do this to avoid poking myself or causing any unnecessary discomfort or eye watering. And for the last shade, we are going in with that pesky purple called Wasted. Now this is a beautiful shade, but it is a little bit finicky. It kind of tends to break up a little bit, so it's best to lay the color down as quickly as possible without going back over it too many times. Otherwise, the formula kind of starts breaking down on you. I'm almost like trying to create a slight upwards flick with this so that it goes into the raspberry shade above it. And I will go over this bottom edge a little bit with some powder or a clean brush to just fix up that edge. Good to kind of like check between the two sides and make sure they are symmetrical, or as close to it as you can get, really. In makeup, I feel like you always have to just think of the sisters not twins rule. Doesn't matter if it's brows or eyeshadow or eyeliner or the two halves of your lips, they're never going to be twins. It's always going to be sisters. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with the eyeshadow. I think it's looking good. Now I just need to go back in with my beauty blender and kind of just clean up wherever there's a little bit of a blending issue or any fallout. Also going to grab a clean makeup brush, kind of just diffuse it ever so slightly, starting with the barrier between the green and the blue, and then moving on to the barrier between the blue and the purple. Just gonna pack a little bit more purple here. I knew I was gonna have a bit of a problem with it. Those tend to kind of cause some bold patches here and there. Alright, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of powder on my brush, look up, and kind of gently set that lower lash line. Whatever concealer is left there that's still tacky. Ugh, try not to poke yourself in the eye. I said that the purple was going to be our last shade, but I actually forgot about the most important part, the inner corner highlight. Now I've got two shades in this palette that are really good for that. Either Pink Me, which has a pink shift, or Moony, which has a gold shift. Wasn't quite sure which to use, but I think for today I'm gonna go with Moony. Oh yeah, that looks really great in between the green and the yellow. It's really working well together with them. I'm gonna have a quick sip of water in a sec. My throat is super dry today. That's why I'm talking kind of softly and I probably sound a little bit low energy today. Where's my water bottle? Shout out to Chili's water bottles. This is one of their Emma Bridgewater collaboration bottles. I hate the new logo. I think the old one was so much cuter, but I do really love this heart print on this bottle, so can't complain there. While I was sipping on my water, I had the glorious idea of using that Pink Me shade. I don't know if I showed these shades to the camera yet. I need to use them for those clips for the Instagram tutorial if I choose to do one. But anyways, I figured I might as well use Pink Me as well and just apply that under the brow. So now I don't have to choose between the two. Oh yes, bomb. Bomb diggity. There's like so much background noise happening in this video. I'm so sorry. There's like my neighbors talking outside, my sister cleaning up her Legos, my dog gnawing on a bone. It's impossible to film when there's other people in this house. Or even like outside of this house. Everyone around here has really nice big gardens, so they're always outside in the summer months. Alrighty. Going to use my eyelash curlers from Shuemura. Probably not saying that right. In makeup school, they taught us to use our ring finger, thumb and ring finger for curling lashes, so you don't apply too much pressure, but I always end up using thumb and index finger like this. It's just more comfortable. And I actually tend to like over curling my lashes a little bit. For lashes, I'm using this mini of the Better Than Sex mascara from Too Faced. Got a little bit distracted and managed to get this on my face, but that's fine. We're gonna deal with that. Gonna let the mascara dry before I try to clean it off my cheek, because otherwise it's just gonna spread everywhere. Oh, forgot to do the lower lashes. Newbie error. Holy crap. We've got some like Danish people or something living here. They're not speaking German. I think they're speaking like, I don't know, Danish or Swedish or something of the like, or they might be speaking a dialect, a weird dialect of German, I don't know. I'm gonna close the window because it's a little loud. Closed the window just in time before a bee came in, so that was good. Actually, I think it was a wasp, so I got nothing against bees, but wasps are not my friend. I'm using a dry, clean brush just to scratch away that mascara that I got on my cheek. Gonna press over that spot with my beauty blender and reapply my highlight over there. Actually, do a little bit of powder first. And then highlight, if I can find my brush. I can't find my brush. What the heck? Okay, got it. I've finished the eyes, I've revised the situation. I am now in a position where I can choose whether or not I want blush. I feel like I don't need blush, but I want blush, so I'm gonna do blush. This is the Fairy Flush Blush from Tarte Cosmetics. They released it, I think, last summer. It's this beautiful mauve pink. Pro tip, always apply a little bit more blush than you need, because blush tends to be the first thing that fades away throughout the day. So if you're planning on having your makeup on and wanting it to last the whole day, then just do a little bit more blush than you need, because it's gonna go away pretty fast. I think it does depend a little bit on the blush though, because there are some that are super pigmented and you might not want to go overboard. Now, lips. Decision time. So I definitely want to do something a little bit more on the nude side, because the eyes have a lot going on. I just don't know if I want to do like a glittery lip gloss or a mauve gloss or a mauve lipstick. Decisions. So option 1, Becca x Chrissy Teigen gloss. Is that Chrissy Teigen? Pretty sure it's Chrissy Teigen. It's Chrissy someone. This is an option. Another choice is the Dose of Colors, a Mauve Story from the Desi x Katie collection. If I can find it, it is right here. I can't actually test the color against my skin. Oh, it smells so good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the Becca gloss. There's a lot of options, okay? I'm a little bit stuck here. Hope I'm making the right choice. Could also do Pillow Fight from Sugarcult. I suck at making decisions. Like, ugh. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do the gloss and hope for the best. Alright, with that I am done. I'm super happy with how this look turned out. I think it's very like fun and colorful and super cute. I cannot say this enough. This palette is amazing. The quality of the shadows is great and the color selection is pretty much anything you could possibly need. If you're just starting out getting into makeup or just getting into really colorful makeup looks, I think this palette is a great one to start with. I gotta get ready to take some photos of this look for Instagram, so I hope you guys loved this video as much as I loved filming it. I hope that it inspired you to play with color a little bit more. Since this is a rainbow look, this goes out to all of my LGBT fans out there. All about that pride. And yeah, I do apologize again if I seemed a little bit low energy today. I just got back from traveling. I'm just kind of settling back into the rhythm of life at home, and yeah, just a little bit tired these days. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. And also go follow me on Instagram, where you will see lots of photos and product shots and mini tutorials and other fun stuff. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!